Good Sunday morning, everybody. I'm glad you're here to join up with me today on my little channel here. A lot of you have been asking about where my new Ford F-250 went that I'm going to be using to pull my trailers. Well, it's in the shop right at the minute. Getting a new speedometer drive setup put in it in the transfer case. And as long as they got it, they're going to put in a new ignition switch and a turn signal switch in the steering column. A little paranoid about the the ignition switch because I only got one set of keys with the thing, so I don't need somebody coming along and so I'm changing locks. It's like when you buy a new house, you change your locks. So yeah, that's all getting done, and I should have that back this coming week, I hope, depending on how fast they can get parts in and their workload is, because they're just kind of working it in. And then the other thing is, I've had a lot of people asking why I'm not putting out a lot more videos than I used to do. Well, as many of you know, back on the 3rd of June of 2025, I had both knees replaced. Don't ever do both of them at the same time. I have been out of work since middle of May because of it. Because I just couldn't stand and walk anymore because the knees were that bad. So, yeah, don't ever do both knees at the same time if they tell you to, though. Anyway, this video might be a little hard for you to watch. It's a segment from my last video that I put out where we were running around with Stinky, loading fast hitch stuff in the back of the old half-ton. Of course, I edited it way down for that video, but I'm going to let you watch it because I have a hard time doing anything that requires me to walk or move, and that's why I always sound like I'm out of breath. So, might be a little hard for you to watch, but this is what I deal with every day, and I try to keep a positive attitude because, quite honestly, things could be worse. So we're going to roll this little bit of a video for you, and then you'll understand why I don't do as many of them as I have been doing. No. Oh. Okay. Let's see what I can do here about getting my foot up here. Oh. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can get Stinky to start here. Shouldn't have been running for a while, and it's been cold lately. Ooh. Come on, girl. Hey, listen to that. Yeah. The doctor that's been doing my checkups since the surgery has told me I'm probably the one in $50,000 or $500,000 or whatever the number was he said, that doesn't recover properly from the knee replacement surgery. And not having the proper physical therapy afterwards did not help me any. Long story behind that. Those of you that have been with the channel for a while probably heard me ranting and raving about it. So anyway, that's the way it goes. So I got to get taxes and the pickups done and the M done and all that, and then I'm going to go in and talk to the folks at the government and see if I qualify to be on disability. I'd really rather be working back at my old job again because I really enjoyed the people I was working with. A lot of fun people there, and I enjoyed the customers. Gabbing with them, that was kind of a highlight of my day, really. So I would like to be a functional part of the community again, sooner than later. But based on what you just saw and what I know and what I can do, yeah, it's all I can do some days just to sit down and ride in a vehicle that's got a sport suspension and sport seats. That just absolutely kills that sciatic nerve of mine that's pinched. It just, I'm grabbing for a hand thing up here to lift me and pushing down on the console next to me, just trying to get my butt up off the seat because it hurts that bad. Anyway, we are going to get on now. If you'd asked me a couple of days ago how my day was going, you'd have probably seen me have a little bit of a meltdown over my 1952 Farmall Super M. Many of you know that's been following the channel for a while. I sent it in to a shop that has the tools and equipment and the know-how to take it apart and fix it. Well, the thing's always had a knock in what I thought the number 2 cylinder, and always thought it was a wrist pin. But in those 35 years that I've had the tractor, that's been my heavy-duty plowing tractor. I mean, I've done all my heavy-duty grunt work with that thing. All the way from plowing, pulling wagons with hay bales on it, you name it, it did it. Pulled out trees, bushes. Yeah, in fact, I think there's a photo here of it pulling a Minneapolis Moline 4-bottom one-way plow. Yeah, and that was what I was using around the place to do that kind of work with. Well, ever since I'd purchased that thing, it had had a knock, and I thought the number 2 cylinder, I think it probably turned out to be it was the number 3 cylinder, and a busted ring. Well, okay, so I think, well, we can get parts. Let's put new wrist pins in between the rods and the pistons and put some new rings in the old girl and call it good. No, you can't do that anymore. You got to buy an entire kit. Well, okay, let's put a kit in it. It's an overbore kit because you can't get a standard bore kit for it anymore. So we had to have the cylinders bored out to put in the heavier sleeves. We bought new bearings because the crankshaft needed to be ground 10 under on the mains and the rods. Well, lo and behold, all of the machine shops in this area within a 200-mile radius either aren't capable of doing crank grinding anymore or don't have a real good reputation, and that's the one that was furthest away. So nothing doing, we had to send the crank to a machine shop in Salt Lake City, which is around 400 miles away from here. 320 some bucks round trip freight just on that. I haven't got the bill yet on the machine work. Well, they were happy with it at the place of the little shop where I got them putting it together. They got the crank in it, they got the bearings in it, the mains, they were bolting everything up. They put the camshaft bearings in it, tried stuffing the cam in it, the cam wouldn't fit. Well, holding the cam out, or the bearings. Well, they tried doing that and exploded the hone that they were using inside one of the bearings, so they bought new bearings to put in. Well, they get to looking at it and they're wondering now if the bore for the cam bearings wasn't straight from the factory. Okay, so what do? We take that engine all apart again and we're sending it to Salt Lake to that machine shop down there again because nobody around this area will line bore the thing and have that bearing surface in the block line bored to make sure everything's straight and good. Then I'm going to come back, put it together. then I just know what's going to happen is they're going to tell me, oh, well, your crankshaft's no good because it was worn because the bearings were goofy. So you got to buy a new, not crankshaft, but a camshaft. Well, new camshafts are available. They're $300 and some odd. But I tell you, I'm about ready just to tell them to put the damn thing back together again and make it run and then drop it off. I don't have a farm anymore, so it won't be doing any heavy work or very much of it. The most it'll probably be doing is looking pretty if I get it painted at a show somewhere, like at a county fair, that type of thing. And the most heavy work it'll probably ever do again in its life, unless somebody else buys it that's a farm, is going to be at a tractor pull or a plow day competition. Yeah. As it stands right now, I'm almost $5,000 into that engine. Yeah, I tell you, I'm a little, yeah, that's why they, so anyway, yeah, that's the update on it. I figured I'd have that tractor back by now, but no, we're sending the block now down to Salt Lake to have them work on it. So yeah, if any of you in this area from the tractor clubs or whatever are looking to have a crank ground machine work done, I do not recommend any of the machine shops in Twin Falls or Jerome or the state capitol up there in Boise. Yeah, take the thing to Salt Lake, get it done down there. I'll see if I can't figure out what the name of the outfit is, and then I'll put it in the description down there at the bottom. Yeah, so if somebody out there wants to start a new business and get going, your perfect opportunity would be buy up a building, buy the machinery that you need out of the 2 machine shops that's close here, put them in there and start machining cranks and line boring stuff and hot tanking blocks. And yeah, I think there's still money on that around the area. The problem is here isn't that there isn't the lack of work, so they're closing down these shops. It's the guys are retiring because they're all old, didn't bother to hire on anybody or teach anybody younger how to do any of that stuff to leave the business to them, which is a real shame, because there are people out there like me that need to have this stuff done and that ain't getting done. Anyway, back to the main show for today. And now for a really bad dad joke for that cute little redhead down at the dollar store. How are men like dog poo? Other than we're full of BS. How are older men like dog poo? Any ideas? Older we are, the easier we are to pick up. Well, I hope that gives you a little bit of an explanation and whatnot on what's going on in my world. Not much of a video today, I'm sorry about that. We will be getting, now that the weather's starting to get nicer, we will be getting into some projects. Got to get the shop straightened out, got to get a workbench built for in there, got to get it cleaned out so I can put my toolboxes together and whatnot, start making a home here again. Anyway, yeah, after the move from the farm last fall, got to try to make things go here. So anyway, I hope you all are well and happy, and just remember, it could be worse for you. Anyway, Farmer Dave, wishing you well. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.